talk to him and get some of my shit off, and he'll give me the good advice and what to
Yeah.
take and how to take my blood pressure pills and what to take and all of that. So it's like, but that's with Medical Village, and I like that. Medical Village is connected to the Walgreens now, and I think I'm starting to see a lot of minority doctors in that position.
Well, it's important too, and I think that speaks a lot to the people that are coming into those locations and using those services. You know what I mean?
You see him in Houston. You see him in Houston.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Well, personally, what I do is, I mean, my primary care doctor is not black. He's a older white guy, but he's been great, and I've had him as a primary care doctor since we moved to Houston. And so it's probably been 14 years now, but he's been great. He's a great doctor. But when I did have to go, my sons, they play basketball over the years, and they dealt with growing pains, which I thought was just a fake thing. You know what I mean? I thought it was just like a generalized thing that people referred to when kids were growing fast and they were going through pains. But it's a very real thing. And what we did was we purposely looked for an orthopedic doctor that was black, right? And not just, because we just felt that he could, our children could better relate to him, and we could better relate to them in terms of the conversation we have. But we also wanted to give the boys an image of what they could be other than basketball players. You know what I mean? Because I'll be one of the people to say, man, like I've never been a sports person. And while I understand the interest in sports, I just way too many of our parents, particularly in our neighborhoods, they sort of put this message in their kids to put so much emphasis on sports and not enough on education. You know what I mean? So here's the reality. You have a child, a black young boy or young girl has a far greater shot at becoming a doctor, an engineer, an attorney, right? Than they do becoming a professional basketball player or football player. You know what I mean? But what happens is that kids are they're pulled in by the allure of the lifestyle, right? You see these, basketball players and football players, with all of the money and the glamour and the lifestyle and all of that stuff. But what they often don't get is the message that only a small fraction of those that are going in the direction, even the good ones, don't make it to the professional level.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you tell your kids, well, you know what? I know you like sports. I know you enjoy playing football. I know you enjoy playing basketball, baseball. And you should continue to do that. And we'll definitely support you as your parent. So as your parent, but we want you to put more emphasis on your studies, because the likelihood of you becoming a doctor, a lawyer, a tech guru, an engineer, whatever it might be, the pathway is going to be far easier to get there opposed to, you doing sports.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? So I just think that we need to be able to put more emphasis on that as a community. And then also too, the reality is that our people are seriously underrepresented in the STEM arena, right?
Right.
And that's unfortunate. And the reason why that's the case is because, first off, in our neighborhoods where we come from, the public education system is generally operating at a significant deficit, right? So the budget is never enough to be able to get the kids the resources and tools that they need so that they can compete, with their counterparts in the suburbs, right? But then outside of that, if all you're doing is just driving your kid to play football and basketball, and you're not putting emphasis, or you're not seeking, free resources or resources outside of the education system to help sort of steer your kids towards STEM, then it's a problem. And then what happens is we perpetuate this cycle of now down the line where our community will we're underrepresented in the STEM arena, will continue to be underrepresented there because all of these kids are playing football and basketball. So it's a simple fix. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that kids from our community shouldn't continue to enjoy playing football and basketball, but it just shouldn't be that much emphasis put on, you know?
Yeah, you have to introduce it to them. You know what I'm saying? And let them see what you could possibly be with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if they don't see it, all they see is LeBron James or any type of NFL player doing that, they're like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But they're not showing, like you said, the representation of individuals, especially black men. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Doing that and making it seem cool is the thing. And it needs to be advertised as cool, and it's not being advertised as cool. So go back 360 to the point of a black man wearing a dress.
Yeah.
Or a heavy-set bald-headed guy being fucking gay. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like these are the representations of black men. You know what I'm saying? So you're seeing that. They got a rapper right now. What is it? Playboy Cardi, this dude out here wearing bikinis and stuff like that.
I thought that was a girl. That's not a girl.
It's a guy.
Yikes.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Like Jesus Christmas. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? This is weird, man. Like, chill, bro.
Yeah.
But nobody's supposed to judge, you know what I mean? But dude, like this is what you're socially engineering our pups.
Yeah.
As to saying this is normal.
Yeah.
We tripping, it's normal. That's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, when you choose to wear the dress, just know that there's like 100 kids is watching you and saying, yo, I want to be like you. When you as a like I say, especially as a man that's trying to find out what man, you practice being a man every day.
Right. Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? You practice life every day. We get a chance to do that every day, man.
Yeah.
And we're gonna fail. Sometimes we're gonna succeed. Everything is ebb and flow. You're trying to give the information of what you possibly think that's what manhood is to your children.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you get flooded with killing deaf culture.
Yeah.
Or different types of culture that now your kid is like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like trauma and everything like that's coming so quick that you just sensitize to anything.
Yeah.
So anything is acceptable because you're just an abstract. Now your canvas is all abstract and it's everywhere. It's wild, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's it does matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It does matter. And it's like, and especially when it comes to black representation, because it's black male representation, because you see a lot of black girl magic and everything being promoted with strong black women.
Yeah.
Rock that. That's what's up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They need to have their own identity. They need to have their own escapism. They need to have their own education. They need to have their own sisterhood, all that shit like that. But it's not happening with the black male.
Yeah.
Majority of us is locked up, and they're putting information out there that's making us get locked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the representation of what you do when you do this and you chant this and you put this in your being and you become this and you get locked up. They're not talking about the stuff that happens when you get locked up. You know what I'm saying? That you're back to being a slave to the system.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Shahrazad Ali talked about back in the days, are you a slave? And they gave you a test.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Are you still a slave? And you had to answer this test. And I'm like, God damn, I am a slave. Representation is key, man, especially for black male, because we don't have it. Like you said earlier, like we a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, people just had their mother and even though the mother and the granny figures and everything like that, and these figures were powerful beings that helped us. But on the same token, there was some pimping going on and stuff like that to separate us from the home.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We was demasculated since slavery, you know what I mean? To like, we get raped in front of all these men and then come home and act like you the man.
Right.
This nigga just stripped you of your shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How could I respect you? You know what I mean?
Right.
We don't have any power. We don't have any power. We don't have the image of power. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we could do the best we can. We could do the best we can in our ego. You know what I mean? But now look at the pups now, like you said, more like, you know what I'm saying, gang, that's love. Regardless of the fact what it look like, that's a sense of love. Because they're not getting it from home. And
That's
now
right.
it's like now the mother's too busy because she's so strong and independent that she can't be independent in what they make. You know what I mean? So it's like now these kids are by themselves. You know what I'm saying? And then you looking at the phone, and the phone is giving you all the information that you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And either there's the wrong or right information, stuff like that. That's what's going on. It's
Yeah.
a battle, and it's important. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, we could not be we could be culturally acceptable about a lot of different behaviors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's up. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's who they are. Everybody's a walking Bible. Everybody is. But on the same token, there's still a factor that still remains the same. We have to have that type of dynamic. That's what I miss about Kevin Samuels. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, he was very good, and
He was
I
very good
think
at teaching us
I
how to
think
be men.
yeah, and I think people, particularly, the presence of Kevin Samuels and the platform that he stood on was polarizing for some women, or it was polarizing amongst the female community.
Because everybody.
But I never took offense to what he said.
He was right, exactly. He was a prophet.
Yeah, I never took offense to what he said. I think he, as a man that has done fairly well, in my life, and I'm married and been in a committed relationship for a very long time, and we have children. I mean, he was talking about me. He was talking about you. He was talking about us. You know what I mean? So I think he did it out of, perhaps an unforgiving, sometimes harsh love, but he did it because he wanted women, particularly in our community, to understand that, listen, the way that you're going about doing things and the way that you're going about pursuing a relationship, and who you think you might be in this dynamic, is completely wrong.